everybody. So, at this point, Bones and I are kind of in almost a full month of social distancing and staying at home. Although Bones has kind of been social distancing for a lot longer because he was recovering from his surgery for weeks before this. But anyways, we've been at home working since kind of mid-March, and now we're getting into April. My day job has fully transitioned to having all of the employees work from home, and all of us have kind of had to really adjust to working from home and not in an office. Every day, they have been kind of sharing some self-care tips to kind of help everyone at the company to cope with what's going on, and to make sure that we're still being productive and not burning out during this time. So I thought I would share all of the things that I've picked up from talking with people at my day job. And honestly, a lot of the things here will also be things I've talked about previously of just general kind of self-care, working as an artist, doing your own passion projects, because they can take a lot out of you. So here we go. Here are some tips on how to take care of yourself during the quarantine. So I think one of the best things you can do for yourself is setting up a routine. It feels obvious when you think about it, because if you say you work a day job, say you go to an office, or maybe you work in retail or food or wherever you work, or even going to school, you have a routine. You have to get up at a certain time so that you make it to school or work on time. And then you have a set schedule through all that, and then you come home and you, eat lunch or dinner or whatever, and, your day has a structure to it. So if you are at home now, whether you are doing full working from home or if you're off school right now, I don't know, you might not have enough structure around, and that can really trigger depression and anxiety. Personally, for me, it triggers a lot of anxiety because I sit there going I should be doing more, and it really messes with my head. I know Bones has had to deal with this in the past because the way he works is mostly kind of a freelance structure, self-employed structure. So he already kind of has a routine down that keeps him sane when he's working by himself at home with all of our animals. So yes, so I would recommend, wherever you are right now, make a routine for yourself. And the routine doesn't have to be, wake up at 7 and then start working from 9 to 5 and then whatever. If that doesn't work for you, you can set it up however you want, whatever suits you. Some people are night owls, some people like to wake up super early. Doesn't matter. Whatever makes you feel happy. But it's really important to kind of figure out a structure and stick with it. Have a set time where you wake up, have a set time where you go to bed. If you do have obligations throughout the day, if you're like me and you're working from home at your day job, make sure you're keeping up with that. You're not sleeping in or anything, or staying up too late and then regretting it the next day, because that will just fuel the bad mental health stuff. So yeah, make sure you have a set kind of sleep schedule to stick with, whatever works best for you and what you're doing. Make sure that you have meal times throughout the day, just because I know some people, if they get to start working or if they're just, bumming around the house, they might neglect to eat, and you gotta eat your food. So I would recommend setting a schedule. Bones and I set alarms for whenever we need to have a snack time or a meal time, which really helps us from hyper focusing on something and then forgetting to eat. And it also just makes you check in to kind of what time it is throughout the day as well, so you don't blink and suddenly it's midnight and you feel like you haven't done anything all day. And throughout your routine, if you're doing some art stuff, say you're working on your comic, for example, and you say you don't have any other obligations, schedule in some work time. Now, it doesn't have to be a ridiculous 8-hour work schedule. You don't have to work at a full-time job. And if you are treating it like a full-time job, the reality is a full-time job is not 8 hours consecutively focusing on making comics, because that'll burn you out real quick. So I would recommend breaking it up into kind of sessions or periods the way you would with a school day, because honestly that is kind of how we've done it at our work. We've kind of broken it up into kind of sections throughout the day, just to keep people on schedule. and to add a bit of flexibility. But yeah, it's really unrealistic to expect yourself to work for 8 hours straight, or 10 hours, or 12 hours, or whatever. That gets really ridiculous. I know my brother, whenever I talk to him about his art stuff, he always says, like, he always wants to, like, do 8 hours straight of work, and then he does it for a bit, and then he can't keep up with it. And that is because it's really hard to keep up with such a lofty goal as that. And of course, you're going to burn out really quickly. You're going to get frustrated with yourself if you have this really high standard and you don't meet it, or you're going to be meeting it and it might burn out all your energy. So be careful with that. I would recommend breaking it up into sections. When I'm doing my day job work, I don't do the same thing for 8 hours. I still take an hour lunch break. I take several, get up and move around breaks throughout the day where I can get up and stretch, or go get a snack, or make sure I'm drinking water, or go step out into the backyard to get some sun for a little bit, or hang out with the animals, or talk to Bones. So make sure you're taking breaks. Make sure that you are taking time to take care of yourself throughout the day, and not just expecting your butt to be in a chair for hours and hours and hours, because that's not doable, and it'll wreck your body and your brain, so don't do that. But yeah, break it down into sections, and you can do different things throughout the day. Like I said, you could spend maybe an hour chunk doing pencil work, and then another chunk doing inking, and then coloring. And beware of setting up goals that are impossible to achieve, like I'm going to finish 10 pages every day, because that's just setting yourself up to be frustrated and disappointed with yourself. If you ever have a day where you fall behind, it's impossible to keep up with that. So don't set up any big productivity goals. Don't expect yourself to produce 10 pages a day, but I think it's a lot easier to say, I'm going to spend an hour today working on my comic. That's a lot more achievable, and it'll keep you a lot more feeling good about it. Also, it's totally okay during your workday to chat with people. Take your 10-minute break to go have some social time, chat with your friends online, go on social media, have a video chat with one of your friends. It's totally cool. We do that at my work. We're expected to have social time breaks where we go and call our coworkers and get in touch with each other, because otherwise you're going to be really unhappy and lonely, and you don't want that. And finally, I would also make sure to schedule into your routine some relaxation time. So even if you're doing the full-time workday, make sure you have some time after work or before work where you relax. You don't touch your comic, you don't touch your creative work. You go play video games or go read a book. I personally have been doing so much reading. Oh my god. I think I finished 10 books in the past 2 weeks, and I usually finish 1 book a month at most. So yes, make sure you get lots of relaxation time in. It's really important. It helps you refuel so you can do 8 hours of creative work later. And also it's a really tough, draining time right now where everyone's really worried. Things are uncertain right now, and it's really important to take time and just enjoy some art, or go have a spa day. Go sit around and put on some makeup, or do your hair, or you could do some, I don't know, whatever you enjoy. You could do some creative stuff that doesn't have to be productive. Just do kind of a hobby thing. I keep staring at doing sewing stuff because I'm man, I just want to do something where I don't have to show it to anyone. It doesn't have to be good. It's just for fun. So just do stuff that is relaxing, that'll take your mind off things and let you recharge your creative energy. So along with a routine, which will really help you in your mental health and your physical health, it's also really important that you get in some exercise and stretching time throughout your days. One, being stuck inside all the time, it's very easy to just sit on the couch and kind of let your muscles atrophy and stuff. Whereas, if you're going to school or work, you might be going out walking or driving places, or, going out to lunch and dinner and stuff. You might not have the most active life, but you're still getting out and walking around and keeping your muscles moving and happy. So being stuck at home, probably with limited space as well, depending on where you live, it's really important to do exercise and to make sure you get up and move throughout the day. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to, like, choose a crazy fitness program and, spend hours and hours working out. You don't have to. Trust me. But I would recommend doing some exercises that really stretch out your muscles so that you are not hurting your muscles by sitting all day, because, like, your hips and your back and your spine can really get messed up from sitting all the time. They can get messed up from sitting all the time, so it's always important to get up, do some stretching. You can do some yoga. Honestly, just getting up and walking around your house for like 10 minutes is a really good thing to do, just so that you aren't hurting your muscles. I'd also recommend doing anything that you can get some cardio action in, just because it's good for your heart. I've heard there's a study that says that exercise is really good for your brain cells and supports brain cell generation or something, so that'll help you with being creative. But basically, it's just really good to get some cardio in. It's good for your mental health, it's good for your heart, and it's good for your body, so make sure you get some cardio in. We have a treadmill that we use. We also have stairs in our house. We can run up and down stairs. But you can also do things like jumping jacks. I'm sure there's lots of exercise videos you can follow. But yeah, I would really recommend getting in some stretching and exercising in, because it can really boost your mood, honestly. I'd also recommend throughout the day getting some fresh air. Now, that doesn't mean going outside, because, make sure you're practicing social distancing. You're not going around people and spreading anything around, and staying safe yourself. But it's really important to open your windows if you can, sit on your porch or your balcony or your backyard. Just get some sunlight or some fresh air into your lungs, because it can really help improve your mood and make sure you don't feel like you're, shut in at your house quite as much. But yeah. So that's also very important for your mental health during these times. I'd also recommend, I mentioned it briefly before in kind of the routine stuff, but make sure that you're getting your social time in, especially if you're, say, living on your own. Make sure that you are chatting with friends online, whether it's like through online chat stuff like Discord or Facebook or Twitter or whatever. As long as you're going out and talking to people, it's really good. Get that social time in, because we humans are social creatures and we really need that. And especially during really scary times, it feels really good to just talk to someone and have someone there for you. I'd also recommend talking on the phone. Personally, I've been actually calling my family a lot more than I normally would. During this crisis. So it's been really nice. It's been really great to just talk to my family and hear from them more. And yeah, it's really important to just touch in with people, video call and phone call when you can. Bones and I have also done some virtual write-ins, virtual write club thingies. Some of them we've done like private ones with our friends where we've all gone on video and we just sit and chat and work on our creative projects together while sitting at home in our living rooms on video, which is really nice. We've done that. And we also will do little chats on our Discord server where we'll just chat with people while we do our work. And it's really nice. It's just great to talk to someone other than Bones, even though I love him. But it is nice to just talk to people. It makes you feel a little less lonely. So yeah. Get out there and talk to people. And if you're nervous about it, because it can be really scary to reach out to people, just remember we're all kind of in the same situation here. We're all worried. And I think anyone you reach out to just say like, hey, how are you? Hope you're holding up okay. What's up? I'm sure they'd be happy to hear from you. Also, make sure you're taking care of your mental health. Really important during these times. Like I said, for me personally, it triggers a lot of anxiety, just worrying about humanity in general and worrying about, job security and, getting toilet paper, stuff like that. Like, it's really stressful. I sound like I'm choking up, but my throat's just really dry from talking. But yeah, make sure you're checking in with your mental health, taking care of yourself. A lot of my coworkers have been taking breaks from checking the news just because it gets really overwhelming and scary. So a lot of them are limiting how much they look at that. Personally, I have been using a CBT app to help me with my anxiety. I've been using Woebot, Woebot, which is a little AI app that walks you through CBT exercises, and I found it really helpful. I believe it's free. And healthcare workers in our area were recommending it to people because they're kind of swamped right now. It's been good for me. That's what I've been using. There's lots of counseling services that are available right now online and for free. Hopefully there's some in your area, so reach out to them if you need it. Because yeah, like I said, we're all in the same boat. We're all kind of worried about this stuff, so make sure you're taking care of your mind. You're not in this alone. And I guess my final piece of advice is don't force creative work on yourself if you're not feeling up to it right now. As I've said, it's super scary out there, and personally, when I'm really anxious and scared and worried, it's really hard to be creative. It can feel really stifling, and it can make, my artwork not turn out the way I want it to. I can feel really unmotivated. And yeah, it's really hard. It's also really hard to adjust to a new work schedule and then still expect yourself to get tons of work done. If you're in a place where you can't go to school right now, or you say lost your job or something, that's a big hit. It's really hard to focus on doing creative stuff. And it's totally okay if you need a break right now and you can't get lots done. And I think you should really be forgiving of yourself in these times. Because yeah, when we first started social distancing and this thing was kind of getting really serious in our area, it was really hard to work. And I didn't get much done. And it was really easy to feel guilty about not getting stuff done because I'm like, oh my god, I've got 9 point people are waiting on and videos to make and stuff. But it's hard, and it's totally okay to take a break right now. So yeah, go easy on yourself. If creative work is a really good distraction and makes you feel good, then definitely do it. But don't beat yourself up if it's not going the way you planned. That's all I got. Take care of yourselves, guys. Make sure you stay home. Don't go out. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face. All that stuff. And good luck on your comics. I'm rooting for you. Thank you so much for listening. Ooh, woo. You guys have been great on the Discord. I like just chatting with y'all. It's nice. It's a good distraction. You guys are cool. I don't know how to end these things. Goodbye!